Hi everyone. Something I wanted to go over that I completely forgot to bring up last night at the captain's meeting. DartConnect is now making us kind of go over to the advanced player lineup for both divisions. This is something that the national division has been using for a while now and is getting quite comfortable with. So Zuri's team is already probably pretty familiar with how this works. Um, so more or less the way that everything should kind of be done, at least my advice to you, is to show up with your roster and everything already kind of pre-filled out in the notebooks that you were given. That'll just make it so much easier for the lineup. Um, we still obviously fill out the match report sheets, and once those are done, we open them up, we start the match. Now, because we already have our lineup filled out, we can either load this into the tablet ahead of time or we can do it once both teams have everything written down. Um, it really doesn't matter either way. But when you have your lineup, you can go in and just go straight into DartConnect. You can load the match, and now you're going to see this screen here. Um, Essentially, you can literally go through. You can click where it says play one leg away starts next to match one, or you can just click the at home lineup. Um, as you can see, I've got the team Fade Pub, which is the team I play on, playing against the Northern Pounders. That was just something that was randomly selected. I just did a practice match, so nothing I do is going to be saved here. It will not affect stats or anything like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to add home lineup, and now it just kind of breaks it down and gives you the opportunity to select for each set that we do. To start with, I'm going to go do the 601 double in double out triples, and this is the first match that we play. Um, Once again, I am going to be working off of the roster that I filled out, which by no means is anything official. Um, so in the first set, again, we're going to be playing 601. So I have it set to Dan, Sean, and Davey. So that is the order in which I have it written down. So I'm going to select Dan first. You'll see the number one. Sean becomes number two, and Davey will become number three. This is the exact throw order that will be entered into DartConnect, just like what we've been doing all along. I'm going to hit Save Changes. Now you can see it says the lineup was submitted. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of run right through the rest of these. I've got Trevor, myself, and Barry. So Trevor, myself, and Barry. And then I'm just going to move on to the 501 straight in double out doubles, which basically means that there's two players, just like it says here, select two players. Um, Dan and Sean Acrado. Save changes. Set four is going to be Trevor and Barry. And I'm not picking on anybody with this either. Like I said, it's just pretty much random names here. And I've got Davey and Donovan. Then we've got the 2 point call cricket, which is going to be Dan and Barry. The next cricket will be Trevor and Donovan. And also, you can probably see that, with the exception of the first cricket with Dan and Barry, you'll notice that the other names have disappeared off of here. It's because we already have these players in this segment. I had to kind of create it that way, with the 2 pointer being separate from the other ones. Just the way it worked out, unfortunately. So here I've got myself and Sean. Save the changes. So now we're going to go into these singles, and And the first one I've got is Barry. Second one I've got is Davey. And we've got Donovan, Sean Lent, Trevor, and Dan. And again, you can see that, once somebody's been selected, they move down here. So now basically the lineup is completely locked and we really can't do anything. So I'm going to hit back to matches. And now you'll see that the home team is ready. Um, at that point, essentially, you just kind of wait for the other side to get their lineup situated. I'm just gonna basically randomly pick some names here. And again, this does not end up saving anything. It doesn't do anything at all. But that's just because it's a practice match. I'm not even really paying attention to what names I'm selecting here. And so the lineup is submitted here. I'm going to hit back to matches. Um, so this can be done in a couple of different ways as well. If you want to enter your lineup while the other team is filling out the match report sheet, you can do so. If you want to have one person do the entire thing, that's totally up to you as well. It is generally recommended that the captain of each team fills out their own side, but it can be really done either way. So we're going to go back to matches, and now you can see that it populated both sides. Um, at this point, we're not walking up to the board or the tablets anymore with the match report sheet every single leg. Um, we literally just load this, and now to play this first leg here with Dan, Sean, and Davey against April, Corey, and Eric, we're going to hit that, and now it's going to say, do you want to play the match? Here's your lineups. Oops, I made a mistake. Let's see. It wasn't supposed to be Davey in our team. It's kind of warm. It should only be done by Fagan's Pub. So now I'm going to select Davey, and I'm going to say, oops, that was supposed to be Donovan. So I'm going to select him. This is where it really comes into play, like if you're having to use a substitute player because you don't know if somebody's going to make it or not. That allows you to change your lineup on the fly, and you hit continue. It warns you that the lineup was changed. Just make sure it's still right. Now you hit start. I'm not really sure what this is trying to say. It's more or less telling you nobody's missing, I guess. In this case, I'm just going to hit continue, game on, and it's saying founder start. So let's see, they threw on, then it moves over to Fagan's Pub side. Um, Normally, it will say your team's name and everything. So let's see, I'm just going to kind of fly through on here. Yeah, I guess it's kind of like an Oprah Winfrey show. You get a ton, you get a ton, everybody gets a ton. I wish it was allowing me to go a little bit quicker, but whatever. What it is. And now I'm going to say, well, somebody on the Pounders threw triple 17 and a double bull, get it in 2 darts. So now it says the Pounders have won that one. We're going to confirm it, continue. Now on this tablet, chances are you are not going to be playing the second leg, but it still may show because it may not have updated that the second tablet is going. If that's the case, we know the next one that we're going to be loading is the 501 doubles. So you can literally just click on that one, double check the lineup, hit continue, and so now it's asking for the throw order. I don't know why. Normally it doesn't, if I recall correctly. But I'm going to say Dan goes first, and I'm going to say Corey goes first. So now it's actually pulling the names in. I'm not sure what the difference is, why it didn't in the previous one and is in this one, but whatever. It is what it is. Um, so in this case, Corey starts straight in, and we basically score the matches and everything just like we always have. Um, that's pretty much all there really is to it. It's not a whole lot different from how we've done things in the past, but it eliminates people walking up to the tablets and interrupting others as they're playing. Um, just makes it a little bit easier. That's all I've got for today. Thank you very much, and I hope you all have a great season.